November 1987. A gentle 67-year-old widower starts what should be a simple cross-country drive from Oregon to Wisconsin. He never makes it home. Instead, Dexter Stefonek becomes the victim of one of America's most methodically brutal highway murders. Dexter wasn't just traveling, he was fleeing grief. After losing his beloved wife, he'd moved to Oregon to live with his son. But unfamiliar surroundings amplified his loneliness. Yearning for Wisconsin's familiar faces and places, he decided to return home despite family concerns about the solo journey across thousands of miles of empty highway. On November 15, 1987, he packed his brown Plymouth Horizon and set off on what should have been a healing journey home. November 18th, Glendive, Montana. Security cameras captured Dexter's final normal moments purchasing gas, snacks, and a road map. There was no distress, just a polite older man continuing his journey east. Hours later, his Plymouth appeared at an isolated rest stop with the ominously prophetic name Bad Route Rest Area, a windswept spot on Interstate 94 that would live up to its sinister designation. Rest Stop custodian Fred Siegel became the unwitting chronicler of evil. Around 8 a.m. on November 19th, he noticed an empty white Chevy pickup with Arizona plates already in the parking lot. Highway Supervisor Clyde Mitchell also observed the suspicious vehicle, noting clothes inside suggesting someone had been living in it. The critical moment came at 9:45 a.m. when Siegel witnessed Dexter's Plymouth pull in. He watched a tall, clean-shaven man around 35 to 40 years old approach Dexter while carrying two large plastic containers. When Siegel offered help, the stranger calmly explained he'd run out of gas and was refilling. The interaction seemed so normal that Siegel felt no alarm as he drove away. 30 minutes later, Siegel returned to find Dexter's car completely engulfed in flames. Investigators quickly determined the fire was arson, deliberate evidence destruction. But a crucial clue survived. The driver's seat had been pushed far back, adjusted for someone much taller than Dexter. The killer had literally taken his place, driving the victim's car to create the perfect crime scene. For 4 months, Dexter's fate remained unknown. Then on March 12, 1988, scavengers at a garbage dump 17 miles away found Dexter's wallet, still containing money, ruling out robbery. The most chilling detail, the items hadn't been there a week earlier, meaning someone returned months after the murder to dispose of evidence. Further investigation revealed human remains buried under refuse. An autopsy confirmed the worst. Dexter had been shot execution style in the back of the head. Years later, attention focused on Charles Gary Sullivan, a dangerous drifter with violent history who matched witness descriptions. Sullivan was a transient with documented Western states connections and a pattern of violence against vulnerable victims. Despite compelling circumstantial evidence, Sullivan has never been charged and refuses to discuss Dexter's case, a silence that speaks volumes. The killer's behavior reveals chilling psychology. Returning to dispose of evidence months later demonstrates calculated risk-taking and taunting behavior common in serial offenders. This wasn't passion. It was methodical predation targeting a vulnerable highway traveler. What stranger stalked the Montana highways that November morning? Why execute a harmless widower and display the burning car like a twisted trophy? The killer had clearly done this before, selecting his victim with predatory precision and executing a plan that nearly worked perfectly. The Bad Route Rest Area stands as a silent witness to pure evil. Subscribe to Baffling Mysteries for more cases where America's highways hide deadly secrets. Status: unsolved. Some roads lead only to darkness.